Audible? Audible or not? Hello? Audible?
Yes, sir, audible. Good morning, sir.
Sir,
Good morning, sir.
audible.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning. Development life cycle. Particularly, life cycle is important because when we want to develop a product or project, so in that case, we have to we have to cross the step by step manner. So here also and we will overcome it. So that is why the SDLC is important. So SDLC also important for your exam purpose. It may be a long question. So SDLC is the life cycle which consists with different stages, different phases. Because
Sir, HDFC full form.
Sir, not audible, sir.
hey, you not audible. Okay. Audible?
Yes, sir, audible.
Sir, audible.
Not audible too?
Sir, you are clearly audible, sir.
Okay. Now it is clear.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So that is why complete product, complete process, complete project to be developed. So once it is developed, there is also management level. After the development, also management level we have to work. But before developing the product, we have to cross all the phases, and when all the parts, all the steps we have covered, then we will go for the implementation. Even if nowadays implementations are also taken place in two steps. There is a beta version. Now what they are telling, the beta version of the project. So they will discuss with the end users. The end users, those who will use the system. So the end users will give the feedback. Yes, this type of suggestions, feedbacks, like we are providing feedbacks at the time of buying products. Similarly, you can give the feedback to the entire implementation project part. So accordingly, the next versions or next level, next time, they will add or improve the system, or immediately they will also add those things, because feedback comes means those things will be implemented inside developed project, because the project is already developed, so those things again incorporated with those developed one. So that is why the step-by-step manner. So we have to focus how to develop a complete product. So complete product here, it refers to the software product. So that is the case. So step by step, what are the steps it is present in the SDLC? So first step we have already discussed, I think. So that is the planning and requirement analysis. I think we have discussed planning and requirement analysis, or not discussed?
Yes, sir.
Sir, already discussed. Prioritizing the project request also, that one was discussed.
Yes. So the techniques is used in a information system planning. What are the techniques used? So really that is the business system planning. Different techniques you use. That is the what is the critical success factor? Critical success factor. Another is the business system planning. And last one is the mean analysis. Mean analysis. So here there is the three techniques. The requirement analysis, what involves how to understand the goal. What are the processes required? First of all, we have to understand the goal, target. Because requirement analysis, how will do it? We have to we have to first find out the goal. What do you think?
Prabhanjan, mute
ये कोई
yourself.
पर्टिकुलर से
Rajiv, sir. Rajiv.
अरे नहीं मून है आओ की पार्टी करती
Prabhanjan, mute yourself.
Prabhanjan, mute. Prabhanjan, mute.
So understanding the goal, because it how to find out the requirement, because planning and requirement analysis to be done. What will do? Planning and requirement analysis to be discussed here. So the requirement analysis, what it includes? What is the goal? Goal means if you told, if you consider these are the step by step problems. Problems to be identified. So that is because for the goals, these are the problems. Then what are the constraints? What are the constraints part? Constraints means different rules, regulations we have to also use. Constraints in the terms of the technical, that is the also present, but general.
क्लास स्टार्ट ହେଲା ମୁଁ କହିଲି ନା ନା ସାର୍ ଆସିକି ପଢେଇଲେଣି ବସିଛି ଝାଡା ବସିଛି କ୍ଲାସ ଚାଲିଛି ତା ଭିତରେ ଝାଡା ବସିଲେ ପଳେଇବି ଝାଡା
Hey, Asutosh. Iman ka chupchap ira.
Sir, constants meaning again?
Here, general thing, but constants, that is also in database constraint, that is different. But here, constants means what the problems, along with the different rules and regulations we have to impose. Constants. So really, computer science definition, constants is the set of rules, regulations that will be imposed. Many times, suppose in the database, student database. If you want to keep only the marks greater than 30, those who have passed, those marks will be stored. That is one type of constraint. In system will be developed, the database system will be developed. That means some uniqueness. Suppose, for example, account number. Your account number never matches to any other say, customer's account number. That means that is also a constraint. But similarly, train number, flight number. So different levels of rules, regulations may be also imposed. That is also one case because we have to use. Is it clear or not? And is it clear?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
That is why we have to discuss about the different processes also, because the processes will help us in solving the problem. So, yes. So it is basically an iterative process. It is basically an iterative process. Iterations, number one, number two, number three, like that. Iterations will be done. Iterative process. Iterative process. It is a iterative process. अरे म्यूट कर दिया.
देवी मैम के मीट कर है.
It is an iterative processes because iterative process means what? Repetitions. Suppose we want to print 10 numbers. I equals to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus, we are writing. That means what? 0 to start, again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Each iterations, the process will be completed. First iteration, number printed. Similarly, first iteration, one mark. Second iteration, iterative process. Iterative process means, so like the count you do it up to 100. So similarly, it is an iterative process. So, which is helpful for that. Iterative process involving what it involves? System investigations of the processes and the requirements. So that is why the analyst creates a blueprint of the entire system. We have to create a blueprint of the entire system. So those who are the analysts, because the analysts create the blueprint of the entire system. Blueprint of the entire system. How will do it? So it needs DFD, data flow diagrams and context diagram. So that is the diagrammatically process. That is the DFD. So that is referred to the data flow diagram.
Sir, is DFD flowchart?
Flowchart is different. Flowchart means the flow which will solve one problem. But DFD is the data flow for the entire system. Entire system. Suppose a project consists with 100 problems. So 100 flowcharts required. Getting clear? Suppose one program we are developing, one problem we are solving. For one problem, one flowchart is essential. But
Sir, what is the DFD, sir?
it is a data flow diagram. How the data is used in the entire system. That is the data flow diagram. And what are the processes involved with the data? Getting clear? Because entire system is represented. Entire system is represented because entire system having the different processes. So what it contain? It contain data. So those data, because first we have to prepare the data, collect the data, gather the data, store the data. So once that is prepared, then it will be used in many processes. So we have to represent through diagrammatically different symbols. We will use it so that for entire system we have to design the DFT. That is important for entire system. But flowchart is what? For one problem solving purpose, we will design the flowchart. Nowadays, instead of the DFD, many tools have already come. Huh? Huh? Any question or what? ये म्यूट कर दो.
Ram Vallabh.
So, for the entire system purpose, we need the DFD. Nowadays, also in object-oriented generations, now it is makes it easier. DFD is little bit difficult, but if you consider about the object-oriented generations, they were focusing the modeling part. DFD is also one type of data models, but instead of that, they are using what? UML diagrams. Unified modeling language. Unified modeling language. It consists with different diagrammatical parts. So, what does it mean? So, on which stage, what works to be done? So entire system is associated with suppose 9 diagrams. But now it is already increased to 13 diagrams. The different tools presents. So through those tools, you will present it. In the first level of works, we will complete this. So that is represented in diagram 1. Category. Say use case diagram. So what are the possible works will be completed. So it is present in the use case 1. Class diagram, what are the classes remains? So we will keep it inside the class diagram. Object diagram. So like that, different diagram because entire system to be huh? entire system to be represented through the diagrammatical manner. Diagrammatical approaches we have to focus, we have to develop it so that it is the entire blueprint can able to be analyzed. That is the major part. Because once that part present, then we can go for the remaining part. If we will create the if we
ସାର୍
will
ପ୍ଲିଜ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ମ୍ୟୁଟ କରିଦିଅନ୍ତୁ.
Sir, please mute to all, sir.
okay. So is it audible? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
so
Sir, repeat again UML, sir.
UML is the advanced version. DFD is the data flow diagram which is from traditionally we are using. But nowadays also using, but instead of DFD, if you go for the UML based diagrams, it will be again easier. Because UML is the object oriented generation based diagrams, which is absolutely focused on the analysis part. Absolutely focused on the analysis part. What it will happen? Entire diagram is a blueprint. And the next level, what we will do, the problem should be solved. But if you have remained we see corresponding features, then your work is over. UML having the diagrammatical approaches or having several number of diagrams, 9 diagrams present. So from those diagrams, you can easily identify, because
Sir,
sometimes the
example of diagram, sir. Sir, example of diagram, sir.
diagram means suppose usage diagram. So we will define it. Different symbols. Different symbols will be used. Diagram means corresponding symbols are used. Suppose usage diagram purpose. This symbol is for actor. This for the case representation. So different symbols will be automatically be used, like the flow chart. Flow chart we having the symbols, but we have to add the contents inside the symbols. In the first step, what we will do? In the second step, what we will do? In the third step, what we will do? So like this, different symbols present in individual diagrammatical wise. So we have to analyze what the first step represents. Suppose in case of the library management system. So library management first phase, one librarian was present. So librarian is considered as an actor. Students or teacher requirements, they are considered as an actor. So what they will do? Either they will provide issuing a book or returning a book. So issuing a book will write here, issuing a book, returning a book. Because issuing a book or returning a book, when the teacher students will go to library, either issue or return. So it is represented. So first step, what will we do? This is the issuing or returning of the book we have to show. Similarly, because this is the arbitrary as places, we have to analyze it. Yeah? So because in diagram we will keep it all. So that means what will happen? For the student, interaction between student and librarian. This is what that for student, or this is for librarian, this is for student, or teacher, then under this category, who will do? Student will, teacher will. So under this category, diagram.
Sir, UML is the latest form of diagram that is used by the
Yes.
and
Generation.
DFD.
DFD also better, but better DFD because nowadays the generation-wise programming language is technically changing. So nowadays programming language like Java, Python, you might have heard. These are the programming language getting popularity. So that all the sectors are doing this because diagram not dependent on the programming language. Flowchart not dependent on any programming language. For all programming language, we need flowchart. If we develop flowchart, then we can develop algorithm. If we develop algorithm, we can substitute with any programming language. Contents. Once content is prepared, you may tell in English, Oriya, Hindi, Japanese, Chinese, whatever, maybe similarly same thing. Content, flowchart is the common. Similarly, diagram based on the generation wise. If you develop DFD, it is okay because DFD is good. But nowadays, as generation is based on analysis case, in object-oriented programming language are dominating the software industry now. Python and Java getting popularity. So for that purpose, we will focus towards the UML-based diagrams. That is easier for us. A complete description of the entire system, whatever complex project may be, because analysis helps us in solving the problems into many smaller steps and simpler steps also. So that is why individualize. This is one example. After this, another diagrammatical step comes. After this, another diagrammatical steps come. So here the point is, analysts should prepare one complete blueprint of the entire system. How that complete blueprint of the system will be prepared? Through the diagrammatical manner. If the diagram is ready, blueprint, I mean, similarly, we have to construct the building. So we are preparing the blueprint. Yes, this manner will construct. Similarly, we have to design this. So like this, we have to also prepare the diagrammatically well. No, does not mean we will do any parts, unnecessary parts. Because if you keep some unnecessary part here, remaining steps based on this, remaining step based on this. So that is the problem. That is why we have to do the appropriate analysis. Then we have to keep it inside the diagram. Get it clear? So different diagrammatical manner present because that is a subject also. Because it needs 40 classes to develop entire diagram. It's a very difficult one because the analysis and keeping it inside this. Because those who are having some years of experience in the software industry, if you have the 10 years or more experience, then you will be involved with the diagrammatical representation because it is not easy. May have some diagrammatical steps, we may know it, but exactly developing those diagrams is a very difficult one, not easy one, because that needs the lots of experience. And already solved the project experience you have, so that you can able to develop. That means diagram means what? That is the solution. Diagram symbols are used. One symbol, suppose this is the one symbol. For use case diagram, this symbol is used. Already 9 diagram category, 9 symbols is used. Where the rectangle, where arrow, where octave, where elliptical symbols, that is different. Because those symbols nowadays, through tools it is available. IBM rational rows, there is a tool, that is a rational rows, IBM law, which is most important. It is a commercial. IBM rational rows. Commercial. What?
Sir, ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଏଠି ଗୋଟେ ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ଆସୁଛି ବହୁତ ଇରିଟେଟିଂ।
ହଁ ସାର୍ ଏକ୍ସକ୍ୟୁଜ ମି ସାର୍ ସାର୍ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଭଏସ କ୍ଲିୟର ଆସୁଛି କିନ୍ତୁ ବହୁତ ଜୋରେ ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ହଉଛି ସାର୍।
Voice ଟା
ସାର୍
clear.
ଇଣ୍ଟରନେଟ କନେକ୍ସନ ଟିକେ ଚେକ୍ କରନ୍ତୁ ସାର୍।
Audible but.
ସାର୍ ଭଏସ ଅଡିଓ କିନ୍ତୁ ଗୋଟେ ଇରିଟେଟିଂ ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ଆସୁଛି ସାର୍ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଏଠି।
ଚର୍ଚ୍ଚା ଅଛି।
ଇଣ୍ଟରନେଟ ଟିକେ ସାର୍ ଚେକ୍ କରିବେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର।
ଭଲ ଅଛି।
ସାର୍ ଆପଣ ଯେବେଠୁ ମ୍ୟୁଟ କରିଦେଲେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ସେବେଠୁ ସାର୍ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ମ୍ୟୁଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ କହିବ ମୋବାଇଲଟାରୁ ସେମିତି ଗୋଟେ ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ଆସୁଛି।
ସାର୍ କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁ କରନ୍ତୁ ଚଳିବ ସାର୍।
ଅନମ୍ୟୁଟ କରିଦେବା ନା କଣ? ଅନମ୍ୟୁଟ କର। Check it. Is it okay?
Yes, sir, it's clear now.
Yes, sir.
So really,
Sir, repeat again IBM, sir. IBM, sir. Repeat again IBM.
IBM Rational Growth is a powerful software for developing the diagrams. This is a commercial software. IBM is a software company, developed many different types of softwares. IBM itself developed one software, that is the Rational Roach. So really, because we have to develop the diagram, so we will use those instructions for developing our blueprint. Similarly, also free software present star UML, agro UML, because this is the major challenges in software industry. Because how to develop and design the diagram, it is very difficult one. Because you, the management people, will be involved in solving the theoretical approaches. So that is why when you will be involved in the problem analysis and requirements case, so you have to work with those diagrams because you will not be involved with the direct coding. So when you have the experience of the managing the project, so at that time, so you have to involve with the diagrammatical solutions. This is not easy one. This is also difficult one. But technically, there are some discussions may remain inside that because the which work will be done different what the internal programming parts may also be used. But overall, it is the solutions. So anyway, so we have to use either DFT or use UML modeling. Both are used, but UML is particularly only related to object-oriented category. But DFT can be used in all. But DFT is little bit complex cases because the what easy solutions may not be developed through DFT. So that is why people and all are preferring to develop UML based diagram. So that is why how to develop the blueprint, that is the important case. Analysts should prepare it. So
Sir,
you might
IBM full from, sir? Sir, IBM full from?
IBM is a company, so Institute Business Machine na called. IBM Business Machine. IBM is the name of the company, like Microsoft, like Oracle. IBM may have the full form, but IBM
So
Institute Business
international business machines.
International Business Machine, because that is the name of a company, like Microsoft, International Business Machine. That is the name of a company. So IBM, many software professionals are working. Microsoft, Oracle, these are the what bigger companies. So in software industry, so top level company MNCs. So they have developed their own product. That product can be sellable. Suppose we are using the database software, so that is developed by Oracle. We are using the programming language Java, that is developed by a software company that is Sun Microsystem. So similarly, IBM National World is getting popular in designing the what UML softwares. So we can easily analyze, and it is already implemented by the several other companies. So that is why it is appropriate because it is the feature having the appropriate feature. Even if you can also search in the Google, suppose one UML diagrams for entire railway reservation system. Nowadays, many more are computerized. Many more sectors are computerized. So that is why it is easy for the management people, because they can easily analyze the entire developed system when they will face the new problem. So automatically they can derive the solution sheet accordingly. That is the advantage for you, because the many more system is already computerized now. So you can easily find the case studies of those. But you may not get the coding part because coding is hidden. But all those things can easily know you. You can easily know those things. The reason is already developed, but coding may not be given to you because the code is always hidden and it is always with the developer side, company side. But this type of cases problems, because what the system solve, so that is already represented. So that's why you can get those things easily. So nowadays always refers to the internet, many more things present, chat GPT, artificial intelligence, which helps us in many ways. Because that is the whole problem for whole human being. Artificial intelligence help us, but ultimately what? It is also problem for whole human being. The doctors not required, professors not required, drivers not required, security men not required. So all the sectors will be occupied by the artificial intelligence based machines. So what we will do? That is the problem. If artificial intelligence nowadays is a very all the institutions or all the sectors now they are analyzing the artificial intelligence. Now last 3 4 days each and every time in our state number of institutions organizing seminar artificial intelligence. So the reason is everything is possible in another machine. Machine can able to think, machine can able to deliver, machine can able to perform the actions. Then what we will do? If a machine, robot sure who work, your role is sure. So when you will be promoted, so finally you will be sure. But a robot works 24/7 as sure, already proved. Then how we will survive? So we cannot work more than 10 hours. We need the Saturday Sunday as holidays. So you just imagine because what artificial intelligence and can do it. Very problematic for us. May not replace human beings, but it is a problem. So many more things available nowadays in the net because information system. When you want to develop or manage an information system, what you need for managing purpose, we need intelligence. For managing an information system, for managing a system, we need the intelligence. So that is why what are the challenges present? What are the problems present? How challenges will not allow to solve those problems? We have to focus. These are the obstacles, barriers. First, we have to overcome. So, diagram will give the clear cut description. If you follow because 9 diagrams having suppose 100 steps. So, 100 steps you can easily analyze it. So you can add, delete, modify at any step. That is very important because addition, deletion, updations is easy in the diagrammatical step. So once everything is developed, then it will be submitted for the coding purpose. So that is why this is the first and important case. Get it clear or any query again?
Clear, sir.
So that is why we will also discuss some of the part last. We will discuss with the or what if we may search it inside the Google in the Google to in different case studies. So how the diagram helps in solving the problems in entire system, entire system. So that's the first part. Requirement analysis. Next, come to the part. What are the requirement analysis? Sub processes in requirement analysis. What we will do? What are the sub processes? First is the conducting preliminary investigation. Conducting preliminary investigations. Performing detailed analysis activities. Performing detailed analysis activities. Next, studying foreign system. Studying foreign system. Determining user requirements. recommending a solution. Final one, that is recommending a solution. So, what are the soft process we need? So, first is the conducting preliminary investigations. So, we have to go and investigate it, preliminary part. Performing detailed analysis activity, what we have already discussed. Studying current system, always what are the currently present. Current system is what? So, what are the problems facing with current system? Sometimes also we have to think about the in future that problem may come. But current system is the most important one. What is present? Determining the user requirements to be analyzed. So user requirements, because who are the users? Who are the users? That is important. System users. Who are the users? So as per the user requirements, we have to find the solutions. Then we will recommend a solution. So finally, we will do the recommendations. Yes, this can be done like this. And any other doubts? These are the most important 5 important points. So next come to the part, next phase, that is the designing system architecture. This stage is over. Huh? This stage is over. So now in the next stage, we have to design the system architecture. Designing the system architecture. So designing the system architecture, it focuses on system design. Because so system design particularly focuses on software and hardware part. Software and hardware part. First of all, detailed specifications. Software and hardware. Software and hardware plan. Because entire system on the basis of specification and the software, because we need suppose the software specification, which programming language will be used, which operating system will be used, which database software will use. So like this, hardware, what will be the required configuration? Software runs on hardware, remember it. For particular software purpose, minimum hardware configurations required. That is the major part. Because if the required hardware not present, that means what will happen? The problem will come in executions. The system may not be efficient because the system should timely execute. Timely the solution should come. If it will be time taking, then may not be adopted by the many users. So that is difficult one because faster generation. So we need the work to be done faster. So that for that purpose, the hardware configuration is essential. Hardware configuration is essential. That is major part. Remember it. So that is why what are the software and hardware configuration we have to find out in the designing the system architectures. Architecture entire part. So that's why we need it. Getting clear? Is it audible or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it's clear, sir.
Now,
Sir, audible.
already it is designed, so now we'll go for the developing the system. Next step, that is the developing the system or building the system. So building or developing the system. Now everything is okay. So now what we will do? So in this stage, what are the hardware we have to acquire? Acquiring hardware and the software. If necessary, additional remains, we will do it first. Acquiring hardware and software if necessary. But in this stage, another important is the database design. Database design is also present in the syllabus we will study after 1-2 classes, database design. Because the database design is the difficult one, not easy one. Because the database will contain the data. But the data in the different formats present, but finally we have to convert into the stored format. It is very difficult one. Database design is not easy one because the data format is different. Data how many entities, because entity form it remains. Suppose in the student management system, who are the entity? Student is one entity. Real world object, any real world object is referred to the entity. So we have to first find out how many entities present in the entire system. Then after that, what are the attributes, properties of those entities? Student properties, student roll number, student age, student course, student contact number, student address. These are the properties of the entity. It is represented through the columns. So that is why in the form of row and columns, we have to store the data. So database design is a crucial one, and we have to also learn few parts of the database design. So in your it is present, we will also discuss. But it is a difficult one because the analysis and because there are some relationship also you have to keep, because one attribute is used in one place. That means that attribute if you will be used in another place, in another entity, student roll number is the attributes of the student, but that roll number is present in the student table, that roll number will be present in the placement table, that roll number will be present in the library management library. So that means what? Same number, it is reflected in many places. So that's why we have to keep the relationship among them. If the roll number removed, that means all the sectors also remove their essential details. So that is the vital cases, because the database design is always crucial. There is a separate professionals who will develop the database. That is because each part is developed by different professionals. Database will be developed by the database designer, database developer, and programming will be done by the programming specialists. So, but in database cases also, different types of professionals used. One is the administrator of the database. One is the database developer. One is the database administrator. And finally, one is the end users who are using the database. One is the database designer developer. One is the database administrator. Database administrator is a very good job. That means what they will do? They will check who are the authorized users. Database provides access to only authorized users. Remember it. TDC database, you are entering into the system through your login credentials. For the login we have given to you, you can enter. That means what? In the database, only you are the authorized people. 50, 60, 70. So that is why what administrator will do? Administrator will check what problems faced by the users. Database administrator. That designation is a DBA. DBA, database administrator, you might have heard DBA, because large number of real-time case problems will come that will be solved by them. Database designer or database is okay, but database administrator will remain always active. You imagine when the banking checks are clearing through online mode in US or other country, in our country it will be implemented soon. But what that will, if the pending will be done, lots of checks will be in queue. That will be a problem for the entire system. So in that case, immediately DBA checks where the problem remains. Because finding errors, problems is most difficult task in computer science, in computational system. So that is why the database administrator will focus where the problem remains. So that is separate professionals, they will do it, but that is most important part, that is the database
Sir,
design.
again DBA, sir. DBA, what the full form of DBA?
DBA stands for Database Administrator. Administrator who will administrate the authorized users' activities and providing solution for the problems of users. But users will face the problem. Who will manage? Administrator will manage it. But those who have designed, they have already gone because they have designed and they have given submitted. Yes, you use this database. But those are the administrator. They will administrate. Who are the users? Why the problem is comes? So they will solve it. So that is why the developer, administrator both are different. So it is the reference that DBA, but designer is the database developer or designer, same. Designer or developer, same. So that the case database, because the database we will also study in the fourth unit. So that is the case. Getting clear or doubt? Next, developing system processes. Developing system processes. So different processes we have to develop. So what are the associates with the entire system? So that is the case. Next is the coding. Coding and finally testing. Coding and testing is coding. Coding and testing is coding. Now, in this approach, we have to build or develop the system. This is our every system must follow this one. What are the hardware software remains? So we have to acquire it. What are the database remains? Because always most important is the database. Because once the database is prepared, but we can easily analyze the problem part. Because always remember, nowadays the problem reoccur, not unique for us. So one person asked to Bill Gates, have you ever faced a new problem which is not faced in any part by anyone from the worldwide across the globe? Bill Gates stopped for some time and told no, because the problem may be faced by any other body, but I may face it first time. So that is why the solution, that is why the solution developer always analyzing. Even if in our personal life, we are also doing same thing, because you don't think you are only the problem only associates with you. That is why they are doing committing suicides nowadays. Why? The reason behind it is this. Why you are so much? Because you have the problem, you cannot express it. Yes, it is okay. But when if you express and or you search in the net, there are many solutions with it. So we need the solution. So that is why entire cases will come. Problem repeats, so solution also repeats. I have the fever, others have fever, so paracetamol is used for several other people also, point to me for others also. So that is why we have to analyze the problem and derive it. So that is why acquiring hardware, database design, and finally what are the processes, and final one and last one, that is the coding and testing, that will be done by the computer professionals. So coding and testing is important. Coding means through programming. Programming we will develop it, and testing what the required output should come or not. That is the testing. We have to test 5 plus 3 equals to 8. Yes, 8 comes. That is okay. So because testing is also a difficult one, because the technical part, this is one, it is difficult, and this one is also difficult. Because the coding testing is the time-taking process. Because that will be before the implementation part, we have to focus on those. Okay, so this is the all details in today's class. So any question and doubt you may ask.
Sir, slides मिलिबो slides.
Slides come there. What are slides in no note in the form of notes I will share. Okay. Notes for a kari dete. Huh.
Okay,
So
sir. Sir, it will be better to share chapter wise, sir.
chapter wise. Chapter wise I will share. Huh?
Sir, share also important questions.
Sure. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, ये database रो query भी हमको लिखवे पड़िबो.
नहीं database query कर ले database रे query तो है गले develop माने computer science student करिए. Database रो how it works, what it contains, in which problems we need which type of data, which entity we use, all those things you have to know, na. Query, that is different. Why will need query? Query is the based on the absolutely the developer designer will do it. But management people should know, na. Okay. So who are the users? What are the attributes present? Because the blueprint will give, like you are watching one table. What does it mean? These are the student database. This 60 student appeared, 30 student failed. From the database you will get the information. Na? Where you will get the information? So for that purpose, minimum informations we need. Otherwise, how to manage? Our target is to manage the information, quality information. So first of all, the informations must be of qualitative. So that is also to be focused. So we will not write the queries. Query writers will be different. That is the from computer science, core computer science students, they will write the query. Okay? Any other question or we will close it? Sarah has already come. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks to all. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Select star.
ନମସ୍କାର ସାର୍ ଲଗେଇଦେବି ତ ମୋତେ କ'ଣ କହିଲେ ସେ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ଏଇଟା ନୂଆ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ଆସିଛି ମୋତେ କିଛି ଜଣା ସାର୍
Okay.